Good morning, friends. Do you hear that bird song? I just love that sound, especially in the spring. Okay, good morning. Well, for me, hello to you. Welcome. And I want to begin, as we always do, touching some element of nature that just reminded me, I totally forgot that I said in the Together race last week, I hit a tree, tapped a tree as I went by, and people were probably like, what is that woman doing? Like tapping a tree for wood for good luck. But I want you to touch some element of nature. I am currently looking at touching some, I'm assuming it's something on the bark of the tree. I'm right up and close. It's yellow, maybe, I just read the book about it. It's not lichens, it's something else. Anyway, that's what I touched. Are we ready to begin? Have you touched your element of nature? In 3, 2, and 1. This is my first time running early in the morning in a while. I've run in the mornings, but not right as the sun's coming up. Not with the bird song loud. But it's coming down now. I was actually just rushing to get out the door so that you could hear it. I mean, I know, you know what it sounds like, right? Most of you, I'd imagine, live somewhere where you get that. But here, I love waking up in the morning, just hearing it, especially when it's in that magic gap of time where it's just, you go to bed a little bit warm, you have the window open all night, and somewhere in the middle of the night it cools down enough to just be like perfect in the room, like temperature wise, and then you wake up with the bird song. That's just one of my favourite things. And many of you, those international listeners, probably hear birdsong year round, or maybe not year round, but a lot of the year. And especially if you don't have air conditioning, you hear it all summer. And sometimes, I remember as a teenager in England, waking up at like 3:45 in the morning when the birds started, and being like, come on, in the summer. I'm just trying to sleep. And they'd be chirping away at 3, 4 in the morning. And I just felt, I could recognize that was a beautiful sound. But I also was a really bad sleeper. And so once I heard that, and the sun, and it got light, which was around 4, I was up. And so, yeah, I see it differently now, though. And the fact that, where I am now, it doesn't get too loud to wake me up if I'm sleeping past sunrise, which right now I still am. Okay, we are going to begin there's a bunny. We're going to begin our Together Run parts today with our body scan. Now, I know many of you tried the Together race as your first Together Run. So I think we've got quite a lot of new people here. It was so cool hearing quite a few of you say, wow, I gave it a try. Wasn't sure I'd like it, but I loved it. This was my first Together Run experience, and so I hope that continues, that we get a larger and larger group of us coming together to do these runs every week. And to be honest, we're coming up on 50 now. Are we? Is this? No, this isn't 50. But, yeah, I mean, I may at some point need to take a break off these, just as I come away or come towards my goal 50k and want to just kind of have my runs to myself, or after the 50k and I'm just coming back to running. We'll see. But I just want to, I'm sure you understand that if I need to step back, that's okay. Okay, so what I was going to say is, if the Together race, the Go St. Louis Together race, was your first Together run experience, this is going to be a little bit different, because we do quite a bit more stuff, I suppose, and it's more condensed. So by now, I actually would have already done the body scan, but we're going to begin that now. So we're going to start from the top of our heads, moving down to our toes. I will kind of guide you along. Just want you to pay attention to your body and how it's feeling. And we're just checking in. So you ready? Okay. Starting at the top of your head, working your way down through your forehead, into and around your eyes. Making sure they're not scrunched and tight, nice and relaxed. Round to the back of your head, going down to your jaw, and round to the front, making sure that it's not clenched or tight. Everything's nice and loose. We're going into the front of the neck, around to the back, coming into the shoulders, going into the top of the arms, round the elbow, into the forearm, into your wrist, into your hand. I'm going to remind us again about what Mary Kane told us on a previous podcast episode about imagining holding an egg in your hand, and most of the time you keep it in there safe and I guess unsmashed. And when you're in a race and you're in that final few minutes, that final part, you get to throw the eggs down, smash them, and go. That's how we want to be keeping our hands relaxed. We're going back to the main part of the body, going through your chest, into your stomach, around your lower back, going into your hips and pelvis, into your glutes, and into your upper thighs, your quads, and around the back to your hamstrings, to the back of your knees, coming to the front of your knees, going into your calf and shin, to your ankle. Make sure you remember the inside ankle bar and the outside of your ankle, going down into your heel, thinking about the arch of your foot, checking in with the top of your foot, and finally balls of your toes into your toes, ball of your foot into your toes. How's everything feeling? Just going to give you a moment to reflect. Okay. And mentally, how are you? Really? What would you tell me? Few more seconds. Okay. How would I say I'm feeling, really? Empowered right now, emboldened, grateful for this moment right now. I feel decent moving around. I get to watch the sun coming up, listen to the birds singing, and connecting with you in a whole new way. We created this, didn't we? No one else. I mean, people do essentially together runs, I suppose. There are a few people out there who do them. But we've created a special bond here. And so I do feel grateful for you. I feel, and one of the reasons I said empowered is we've had a tough week with Bailey not wanting to go to school. She's a very nervous child, and I find that hard because I am very different to her in many ways, in that, you know, I definitely get nervous for sure, and I know nerves, but she is more of a social anxiety that I find it hard to understand. And so it's really tough dropping her off each day crying, or Steve dropped her off the first day, which was the worst day, where she just was clinging to him, screaming. And that's been weighing on my mind all week, catastrophizing a little bit. But I talked to a few people who really helped soothe those fears. And one friend in particular, one of my close friends, actually the producer of Running Realised, he told me he was a very shy kid. And then if I think about how he turned out, if Bailey turned out like him, I'd be over the moon. He's one of my favourite people. So yeah. So I feel that, and I feel excited. It's all good stuff today. Excited for next week. Heading to Boston, then on to Maui. It's 2 guiding experiences back to back. 2 amazing opportunities. Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so next we're going to do our census check-in, which is going to begin. I'm going to begin with hearing today, just because I think the birds are just starting to calm down and stop singing. And I, selfishly, want to enjoy the last few moments of hearing that. So I'm going to have myself do hearing while you do, so I can enjoy it. Okay, so what you're going to do, if it's safe to do so, you're going to pull your headphones out and just listen for about a minute to what you hear. Really try and pay attention to your body, your ears, I suppose, and what it's taking in. So you're hearing. Ready? Off you go. final few seconds. Okay, what did you hear? For me, it was, primarily just different types of birds making their noises. I could hear my footsteps, I could hear a car, and just the sound of my headband moving past my ears a little bit. Okay, let's go to the two we usually start with. Taste and smell. Oh, and we forgot to do a deep breath. Let's take a deep breath. Let's take one more. Thank you. Also clears out the nose. What do you smell? I smell that like fresh spring smell. It's not really anything, it's just like what the washing powder companies are desperately trying to create with their fresh spring scents, but never really manage. I smell that. What do you taste? For me, I taste my toothpaste still, which I should mention. I actually use these little tablet-like things. It's called Bite, B-I-T-E, the company. And they're little toothpaste, concentrated toothpaste, tablets. And you put one in your mouth, you crunch it down around your teeth, and then you brush, and it foams up. And they do a subscription service, or they do you can buy one time. We do a subscription, but they have toothpaste and mouthwash. So the mouthwash one I actually love the most. The toothpaste, I will admit, I use once a day because I do have some gum recession, and so unfortunately I do need Sensodyne once a day to help with that sensitivity on my teeth. But they are great, and so are the mouthwash is amazing. So, and what I really love is that when you're traveling, they give you this little container, tiny little tin tub that's the size of, I'm trying to think what it would be the size of. It's really small. And you can just put, a few toothpaste and a few mouthwash tabs in there. And then you travel with that, rather than a big old thing of toothpaste and a little mouthwash container. This tub is tiny, takes up no space and no weight, and you don't have to take it out of customs. So check it out. It's called Bite. And I have no stake in them. I just wanted to pass it along. Okay. So next, we're going to go to our sense of touch. Being in our bodies. What do you feel? It was funny, a few weeks ago when Darius was hosting, he knew all the because of his pre-med or med degree, he knew the terms for all these, and I've forgotten them still again. But yeah, I just was thinking about that, which I shouldn't be, because I should be in my body, right? I'm trying to show you that we all get distracted sometimes. Get back to touch. What are you feeling? Few more seconds. Okay, what did you feel in your body? The things you normally feel? Is it things, did anything jump out that you wouldn't pay attention to typically? What did you feel? For me, primary thing I'm feeling is my fingers are very cold. I'd say that during this run, 10% of my mind is always concentrated on my fingers being cold. But I think they're starting to warm up now. But yeah, it's not a very comfortable feeling. What else do I feel? Feel the soles of my feet in my socks and my shoes. I feel the bula around my neck. I feel my foot just brushed my leg. Feel my watch on my wrist. Those are a few things. Okay, and our final sense, our overstimulated sense, a sense of vision. What do you see? I'm not going to guide you. You can look around yourself as it is safe to do so. But I want you to pick details if you can, if it's safe to do so. What details do you see? Few more seconds. Okay, what did you see? You gather some details for me. Things that just moving through your day you wouldn't normally pay attention to. Things that you're grateful to your eyes for being able to see. What did you pay attention to? For me, I was mostly looking at the tree barks, just how it's different for each and every tree. And Bailey has been quite asking a lot of questions lately about trees having boo-boos, like little injuries. And I kind of explained to her about, cutting limbs off and what that looks like when it's healed over. And so because of that, and after finishing that book, The Hidden Life of Trees, I just find myself admiring and just thinking about their stories, these trees' stories, quite a lot. I do have something sad in the pathetic way, but also in the really genuine way to tell you about trees in a little bit. But don't worry, it's about me. It's not me going to ramble on again about people cutting down trees. Okay, done our census check-in. Thank you for taking the time to do that and checking in with your body and mind and surroundings. Now, I would love to hear, if this is your first together run, you can tell me a little bit about you. If we were meeting, what would you tell me? I hope I will get to ask some of you this in person on Sunday at the Boston Marathon for our live together run. But for the rest of us, what would you tell me about you? If you've already done a together run, what updates would you give me since we last ran together? What would you say? Just give you a few minutes to tell me in your minds. Few more seconds. Okay. Thank you for sharing with me. I love when you do share with me, when you upload to social media. But I can imagine it. And as I said last week in the Together race, I was envisioning those of you who have sent me pictures. I was envisioning you with me. So thank you for helping me through that run, where I actually afterwards couldn't believe how fast I ran. So you motivated me to feel good, so thank you. Okay, I'm going to tell you mine in a minute, but being cognizant of time, we only have about a minute left for the 30-minute group. So just going to give some reminders. At the 30-minute mark, 30-minute group, you will come to a walk. We'll give you a minute, and then we will do 2 strides, all of us, 30-minute group from a walk. The rest of us will do it from a run and continue running in between. A stride is going to be 10 to 15 seconds of about 80% of your max speed. Not supposed to be all out, not supposed to be taking big steps. I know the word is kind of counterintuitive. You're just actually increasing your cadence, taking more steps to just pick up the pace, shake the rust off your legs a little bit. If you've been running easy, which I hope you have, well, unless you're supposed to be running hard, in which case carry on with your own thing. For those of us running easy, just waking the legs up a bit, giving you a little pep in your step for the rest of the run, but also helping. Strides really help with our speed, and they also help you in your races. Elites use them a lot. So, like, I really mean that, like multiple times a week we do strides. Maybe not in the middle of the run, but there's nothing wrong with that either. Okay, so 30-minute group, I'll give you another 30 seconds, and then we'll begin those strides. Do one, have about 30 seconds rest, and then we'll do another. Okay? Yeah, there's nothing I can say in 20 seconds, so I'll count down as well. Are you ready? In 3, 2, and 1. And coming to a jog if you're still going, a walk for the 30-minute group. Let's just go a bit slower than you were before to catch your breath. And then we'll go one more time. And then 30-minute group. I'd love if you could hang around for a few minutes. Just have a few things to tell you, updates afterwards. But if you can't, I understand. Just going to give you a few more seconds. One more stride. In 30-minute, you're done. In 3, 2, and 1. And coming to a jog or a walk. If you are still running, take it easy for a few seconds, that minute, before you build back into your regular pace. Okay, so a few updates. I mentioned Sunday. Well, actually first, 30-minute group. Get out your phones, take a picture. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what your background is. I just want to see you. Go and take a picture right now and either send it to me or upload it to social. Really, I'd love to see. Thank you. Okay, but back to what I was saying, updates. I'm going to say these for the 30-minute group, and then I'll say them again at the 1 hour. But I mentioned Sunday. If you are listening to this as it is happening, this Sunday, if you are running Boston, I'm doing a live together run with Tommie Runz from a previous podcast episode from the Tracksmith track house at 9 a.m. So I'd love to see you there and maybe give you a hug if you're comfortable. That's that. If you're not running Boston, you can come join the rest of the Running For Real community, because I'm the only one from the team who's... Oh, Jeremy's going to come. Watch. Yeah. If you're not running, there's a watch-along, which is not going to be geeking out over the elite runners. Maybe a quick mention. But it's mostly going to be about you. About talking with other people, feeling included, feeling loved. And I hope you know by now that at Running For Real, we really work on that. And we're really proud of the welcoming space we make our stuff to be. But you'll get to talk about your own accomplishments, your own favourite races, your own favourite running experiences, and cheer on some of the community runners and how they're doing. So you can find more information about that. The best place, honestly, is going to be the email newsletter, signing up at runningforreal.com. You can also find out more on our social media at Running For Real on Instagram, or the Running For Real Superstars page on Facebook. What other things do I have? Tomorrow night, if you're listening to this on Monday, or every other Tuesday, bi-weekly, we have these Together 22 meetups with an intention of connection. I join these Zoom meetings. These are not like other Zoom meetings. These aren't presentations. These are literally our community coming together to chat and be there for one another, to talk about the hard struggles we've been through. As we know, it's often easier to share with strangers, and be there to listen, but also be there to celebrate accomplishments, because not everyone has runners in their life who understand what a big accomplishment is, even if it's not a race version. Maybe it's just you've run a week without pain, something like that. So I really would love if you could join us every other Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, which I know is at the end of the day, but this will leave you feeling ready for bed, feeling loved, feeling enriched. Just give it a try. I really would love to see your face on Zoom. It would make me so happy. So again, with that, you can find out on our social media, or the best place is going to be the email newsletter, and I can send you an email to remind you to come join us an hour before. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you, 30-minute group, if you're still here, and appreciate you. If you want to hang out, you're welcome to. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. I guess I do have one other thing. Those of you, I'd love to hear, those of you still here, I'd love to hear what you think about Running Reunion. The episodes we're dropping every Wednesday now. They are catch-up episodes. Last week we kicked it off with Aaron and Joshua Potts. Oh, they're so easy to talk to. But these are shorter episodes. 15 to 20 minute conversation meant to leave you feeling good. There's so much negativity in the world. This is supposed to remind you of the good in the world. And not of the good in the world in the sense of, look how good everyone else is doing and not me. It's not, I mean it, and not in the comparison sense of things, but purely just from listening to other humans about their journeys. It's uplifting. So you can find that on wherever you found this. You can find Running Reunion, and I really would love to hear your thoughts on these episodes or on this concept as a whole. I just felt like I need some stuff that's shorter. You know, my 1 hour regular chats are great, but I find that, and the ones I listen to that are an hour are great, but sometimes you don't need an hour and you don't want to keep chopping up chats. So these are designed to be short, snappy, and we've got some great people lined up. So we just had Aaron and Joshua Potts. Can't remember the order. Got Amelia Gappin, Sanjay Rawal, Courtney DeWalter, Grayson Murphy, Guy Winch. Those are already recorded and more coming. So I'd really love to hear your thoughts on those. It's just nice to have something short, a little daily, no, maybe not daily, but once a week reminder of the good in the world, the good in the running community. So check those out if you haven't already. I know there will be links into all of this in the show notes, so you can go get them. Okay, right now, okay, we're 39 minutes already, so it's a 45-minute group. You have about 5 minutes before you'll come to a walk, or 6 minutes. And so I said I'd tell you a story. Oh my God, that tree is huge. Wow, I've never noticed that before. Wow, that width of that girth of that tree is probably, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like the biggest tree I've ever seen here. Huh. Okay, well, that's what I told you. You see new things. This is where I do my together runs every time. I've never noticed that before. Okay, so yeah, I was saying about a tree. So yesterday we had I didn't even tell you my updates, I'll say that in a minute. Yesterday we had a landscaper come to our house. I've never done that before, but she's a native landscaper, which means she will make our yard full of plants native to Missouri, which means we don't have to, we're not going to be trying to keep alive by watering tons these plants that aren't from here. Like, for example, as beautiful as they are, our rose bushes, I don't water them because I don't want to waste that water. Well, not waste it, but use it on plants that shouldn't be there. And so she will take those out and instead put in a plant that is native. So I love the idea of this because obviously to me it seems like less work, because the plants you have there are meant to be there. So they're meant to thrive in the conditions we live in. And it's also making the yard, giving it a starting point, the garden I should say. Don't know why I'm using the word yard. I hate that word. I shouldn't say hate. I strongly dislike that word. Yet here I am using it. The garden gives me a starting point, gives me a bit of advice I can then follow, because I've never really learned. I mean, my parents took care of our garden, but they never really taught me anything, and I just don't know. So I'd love to geek out and ask questions while they're doing it. And I want to plant some more trees, and she'd give me, tell me where to put them, and how to take care of them. So yeah, we're thinking about doing that. We haven't signed yet, but she was there and she said, well, the good news is you don't have any invasive species. And I was like, oh, good. Not that was even a thing I'd thought would ever come out of her mouth, but I suppose it makes sense. And then she said, except for that. And I turn around and she's pointing at my giant tree. And I'm like, sorry, what? The tree? And she was like, yeah, it's an invasive species. And I was like, a tree's a tree. What do you mean an invasive species? And she told me that tree is like a hybrid of two. She told me this story about like them being popular in the 80s and 90s because they look like what people think a tree is supposed to look like. They flower nice in the spring. They go a nice colour in the fall. They grow quickly. And she said that so people in the 80s and 90s wanted them. But then they got out of hand. They spread too quickly. And now they're everywhere where they shouldn't be, blocking out the native trees' sunlight. So the native trees can't grow. And they're trying to get rid of them. But she said when their seeds try and grow, the seeds grow these giant thorns that punch holes in the tires of the tractors and stuff. And so she was saying they're all around a bit of a hot mess. And then she was like, so if the best thing to do would actually be to remove it. And I was like, oh, no! Like, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And I was like, she also said they fall down a lot. They're not very strong. And I was like, I can't do it. I can tell you that right now. I'll think about it. I cannot cut down a tree. I can't do it. And so it was just a bit of a surreal. You can imagine. I mean, think about how much I talk about trees. I should really learn more about each of them. But for me, that was a smack in the face I did not expect. And so now every time I look at that tree, I'm going to be like, oh. Or maybe actually, I suppose it's kind of a bit like, you know, still loving my tree because it's ours, and I can teach my kids about nature. Come to a walk, a 45-minute group, teach my kids about nature, and I can, you know, just get to watch the stages in their glory and appreciate her. I've decided for what she is. Yet also know, like any of us, she's not perfect, and she does things that aren't great. But I just thought I'd share it as such a, like, I just can't believe that was real. So yeah, there's my news. I'll tell you more updates in a minute. Okay, all right, a few more seconds. Right, Sheila, we're good now. Ready for a stride? 3, 2, and 1. And come to a jog or a walk. Give you a few more seconds to recover, and then we'll go again. So the feedback I got from the Together race was good. If you still haven't said anything, but you did enjoy it, please let me know. If you didn't like it, please let me know. And if you thought it was meh, you can let me know that too, because if it was just meh, then maybe it's not worth the effort, if a lot of you think that. And I know many of you, when you do reach out, say, oh, I've been meaning to do this for a while, or I've been meaning to upload a photo to social media for a while, but I kept forgetting, or I didn't want to get my phone out. I'm going to make you do it in a minute. When you have done your stride, get your phone out then, take a picture, and then message me right away. Okay, we ready? One more stride. 3, 2, and 1. Come to a jog or a walk, 45-minute crew. Get out your phone, take a picture of you right now, do it, and then message me right now. Find me easily on Instagram. You can email me. You can find me on Facebook, wherever. Just do it now. Send me the photo of you, upload it to social. I really want to see it. And you help me to spread Together Runz when you share these on social. You enjoy it, and others will too. So thank you. Reminders, Boston, shakeout run, Tracksmith's, 9 a.m. Sunday. Watch along Monday. I don't know what time that starts, but go to anywhere Running for Real is, you'll find out more. Meetups, if you're listening to this on Monday, come on Tuesday, please. I really would love to see you. And running reunion, go check it out. Thank you, friends. 45-minute group. I will see you Wednesday for a running reunion, because now I know you're going to go check it out. I'll see you Friday for a regular episode. And next Monday, yeah, we probably will put together the Together Run. So while the Boston Marathon is going on, you'll be able to do the Together Run pre-shakeout with Boston, which is going to be pretty cool. I hadn't thought about that before. So thank you for joining. See you next time. All right, 1 hour crew. We have 11 minutes left, and we have that's actually, I want to think about that for a second. That's going to be pretty cool if I can get Jeremy to get it ready. Ooh, that's going to be stressful for me trying to get it ready on time, but I think it's worth it, so that you can then upload it. you can download it to your phone and do a together run from Boston from the day before, while those of us who are running Boston. I think that'll be amazing. So be sure, if you aren't already subscribed, that you go do that so that you can remember to do that. Okay. Where are we at? Okay, so I'm just figuring out how to head back here. Why don't we do a body scan? Or you do a body scan while I'm figuring this out. So just gonna begin from the top of your head, go down to your toes. I'm not gonna prompt you this time, just gonna follow your body, or follow your own rhythm, I suppose. All right, off you go. Final few seconds. Okay, great job. How's your body feeling now compared to the beginning? And how are you feeling now? Mentally, any different from the beginning? Said about updates. What updates do I have? I shared most of it with you in terms of how I'm feeling. Updates though. I booked myself in Maui this sunrise tour. You get to go like above the clouds, and you get to go right at sunrise, which means leaving near our hotel, near where I'm staying, at 3 a.m. But because Hawaii is 5 hours, is it 5 hours different from Central Time? I think 6 maybe. That time will be 8 a.m. and it's my first night, so I figure I'll be awake anyway. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that. Never been to Hawaii, and I don't know if I will go again, as it's such a long way away, at least until there's electric planes. So, yeah. What else? I've been sharing on my social media ways you can take action for Earth Month. And the things I'm giving you are real things. They're not things that are they're not, as simple as voting. Go vote in the local elections. I'd imagine most of you are doing that in your own, wherever you are. But it's more than just something like buying an outside furniture that says the word sustainable on it. Like, I hope all of the things I'm giving are practical and real. Like I said, in the Tina way, that makes you kind of feel that I'm not just... Hopefully you don't switch off. But yeah, if you want to go check that out. I've been thinking a lot about Earth Month. And actually, Allbirds sent us this calculator to calculate our emissions for the last year, for 2021, and they're paying to offset them, which I thought was like such an incredible thing as a company to do, and how me, Tina, is that. I mean, so everyone who's in the All Good Collective, which is when you include all the people from around the world in all the different areas, you got like runners and you got like botanists and artists and everything. The hundreds of people, they're paying to offset our emissions, which I thought was just such a cool thing. And also calculating your emissions. One of those posts on Instagram is how to do that. It was a pretty eye-opening experience, actually, even for me, as someone who somewhat has done this in the past and knows about it. This calculator from Berkeley is pretty amazing. So yeah, if you haven't seen that one, go check it out on Instagram and my Facebook page, and you can find out more. What else? My parents have booked a trip to come out here in June. They haven't been here because of the pandemic since my move, so I'm excited to show them around. And obviously for them to see their grandkids. Already at 56 minutes. Okay, so 58 minutes, we're going to do our 2 strides. We do them before we stop this time, just so we can finish right up at an hour. And you can jog in between. If you can run an hour, you can jog in between your strides. And as I am going to switch off pretty quick, I'd love if you take a photo when we finish. You especially. If you've been out here with me for an hour, I want to see what you look like. Envision running with you. So please do that. I'd love to see. Really. Oh, I'm a little bit ahead of schedule on my run back. I might have to turn around a little bit. Okay, so it's only 30 seconds. So I'm just gonna be in one of your senses, whichever one it is, till we get to 58 minutes. Okay, ready? 3, 2, and 1. Off you go. And come to a jog. Give you 30 to 45 seconds. We'll go again. And actually, one other thing to share is so being a guide on Monday with Kyle. Joe, I already know, and I feel comfortable. But Kyle, I've never done a marathon before, and as a guide. And it's Boston, so there's a lot going on. I am a little bit nervous about it. I just hope I can be good enough for him, and I'm not asking for the love. I don't feel confident, but more just I hope I can do it right. So I'm a little bit nervous. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. And come to a jog. 30 seconds left. Almost done. All right, friends, come to a walk. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take a picture right now. Go on, get your phone out. Take a picture. And remember the 4 things I said. If you're coming to Boston, come to the shakeout. If you're not, come join the community. Just either that, the Boston watch along, or the meetups on Tuesdays, every other Tuesdays. Just give one of them a try. You will not regret it. I really, really mean that. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you later in the week. Bye, friends.
Hi friends, just a quick message to say a big thank you to the Running for Real team. While I may be the face of Running for Real and the voice behind the podcast, there are a group of people who are working tirelessly to provide everything that runners could need within our community, to make our community stronger, better, and evolve and grow and learn from one another. We are working really hard to make Running for Real the place we believe it can be within our community. I just want to take a moment to thank everyone on our team. That is Victoria, Stacey, Sandy, Sally, Maria, Kelsey, Kat, Jeremy, and Erica. I appreciate each and every one of you and the hard work that you put in. Now let's get back to the show.